Welcome to the Nevis Newscast for Wednesday, March 3rd, 2021. I am Fredicia Liebert. The Caribbean Examinations Council, CXC, has announced its strategy for the administration of the 2021 Regional Summer Examinations following a meeting with the Council for Human and Social Development, COHSOD, Education on February 26th and March 1st, 2021. The meeting was held under the chairmanship of the Honorable Jeffrey L. Lloyd, Minister of Education of the Bahamas. After reviewing CXC's proposal, consensus was reached by the meeting's attendees, which included Ministers of Education, Senior Ministry of Education officials, and pertinent stakeholders from across the Caribbean community CARICOM. CXC's proposal was formulated following extensive consultations led by the Ministries of Education at the national level and inclusive of local stakeholders in education. The primary focus was to ensure that the administration of the regional examinations would not disenfranchise the region's students in light of the ongoing disruptions to the education system caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. COHSOD Education has approved the following. CXC will administer the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination CAPE, Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC, and Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence CCSLC examinations in their original format, that is, for CAPE and CSEC Papers 1, 2, and 31 School-Based Assessments SBA, or Paper 32 for private candidates, and for CCSLC Papers 1 and 2. The examinations will be scheduled during the period June to July 2021. CSEC and CAPE written examinations commence on June 14th and end on July 16th, 2021. Results will be made available to the Ministries of Education in the last week of September 2021. An extension will be given for the deadline by which students can decide to defer the sitting of the 2021 examinations. All candidates must be required to indicate their intent for deferral by May 1st, 2021. And taking into consideration the loss of learning many students experienced, that CXC will share with Ministries of Education for communication to candidates the broad topics to be assessed on Paper 2, 5 weeks in advance of the start of examinations. CHOSOD Education also approved the dates of May 27th to 28th, 2021 for the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment, CPEA examinations, July 19th to 22nd, 2021 for CCSLC examinations, and that the online training and assessment quality audits for the Caribbean Vocational Qualification CVQ will be conducted during the period May to August 2021, with dates determined by individual participating territories. Timetables for all examinations are available on CXC's website www.cxc.org. Candidates experiencing hardships may seek approval from their school, in-school candidates, or from CXC local registrar for private candidates to defer the examination until the January CSEC 2022 sitting or May-June CAPE, CSEC, or CCSLC 2022 sitting for any subject offered for which they were previously registered in the June-July 2021 examination session. Candidates must indicate their intent for deferral by May 1st, 2021. Once an indication of intent to defer to an alternative exam cycle is received, the candidate's current registration will be put on hold. Submitted SBAs and scores can also be deferred for use in the next examination sitting. There will be no fee charged for the deferral of examinations, even if the deferred subjects are spanned across the January and May-June 2022 examination sessions. There have also been calls for CXC to consider the revision of requirements for syllabus coverage due to disruptions brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. However, it was determined that any change at any level to the program of studies offered by CXC can prove disadvantageous to stakeholders and impact CXC's ability to compare results across years in terms of equivalence of certification. Therefore, the 1 month delay in the schedule of this year's examinations will allow for additional instructional time as teachers and students prepare for examinations. Additionally, submission deadlines for SBAs have been extended by 1 month. Following consultations with external resource persons, representatives from the Ministries of Education, school administrators, and teachers, it was also determined that rather than alter the syllabuses, changes would be made to the SBA requirements, that is, a reduction in the number of practicals, assignments, and to the approach to the implementation of the SBA. CXC will maintain the strategy of 100% SBA moderation across all centers for all subjects in 2021. Details of the modified SBA strategy were provided to CXC local registrars in November 2020, and a handbook, treatment of syllabuses, and the school-based assessment for administration of examinations in 2021 handbook for students was published on the CXC website in December 2020. CXC and the University of the West Indies, UE, also presented a joint strategy to address matriculation requirements for CAPE applicants applying for admission to the UE in 2021. Students who have passed at least 2 CAPE subjects, either at Unit 1 or 2, at grades 1 through 4, who also have the requisite CSEC subjects and who are currently registered for either Unit 1 or 2 can qualify as normal matriculants to the UE. The management and staff of CXC have worked assiduously to develop an examination strategy that will minimize the disruption to the education system while ensuring that the region's candidates are given the best opportunity to succeed. While a schedule has been set for the June-July 2021 examinations, CXC continues to be guided by national protocols across the region. The Ministry of Education hosted a 7-week nursery caregivers orientation training for new nursery providers, both home and center-based, on the methodology and procedures of the early childhood reaching the Unreached Nursery program. Education Officer Donnie Land spoke about some of the topics the training covered.
This training was organized by the Early Childhood Sector of the Department of Education and was sponsored by UNICEF, one of our longest-serving donors. The participants were exposed to a variety of topics, including the importance of a good early childhood center, characteristics of a nursery worker, focusing on acceptable and unacceptable behaviors, stages of child development, our minimum standards for nursery centers, focusing on the physical space and personal requirements for opening a center. We also discussed the changes and guidelines that were adopted in the nursery center as a result of COVID-19. We would like to place on record our appreciation to both the participants for being here and the facilitators for sharing their knowledge. It is hoped that the training would have provided the knowledge and skills needed to further enhance the quality experience for the children in your care.
Principal Education Officer in the Department of Education, Donella Claxton, presented the participants with certificates of completion as well as care packages sponsored by the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF.
And I do hope that you have learned a lot during this time period, the last 7 weeks that you have been coming here. that you are able to apply in the coming years the information that you gleaned from these sessions. And it warmed my heart when I saw some of the examples from the Make and Take workshop that you did, because you can clearly see that you don't always need expensive materials to be able to reach children, but we can use what we have, right, all the things around us to stimulate them and to get them involved. And so I hope that you can, as I said, take what you have learned and transfer it into your various centers.
She also thanked the early childhood team in the Department of Education for hosting the training seminar. The closing ceremony was held at the Red Cross building in Charlestown on Thursday, February 25th, 2021. The order paper has been circulated for a sitting of the National Assembly to be held at the National Assembly Chambers, Government Headquarters, Bastille, on Thursday, March 4th, 2021 at 10 a.m. Notice has been given. Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Timothy Harris, will seek leave to introduce and have read a first-time Gaming Control Bill 2021, Non-Governmental Organizations Amendment Bill 2021, Miscellaneous Financial Services Amendment Bill 2021, and Virtual Assets Amendment Bill 2021. Additionally, Prime Minister Harris will move the second reading of Income Tax Amendment Bill 2021, which had its first reading on November 17th, 2021. The Honorable Minister of Health, Akila Byron Nisbet, will seek leave to introduce and have read a first-time COVID-19 Prevention and Control Amendment Bill 2021. She will also move the second reading of COVID-19 Prevention and Control Amendment Bill 2021. Further, the Honorable Minister responsible for Foreign Affairs and Aviation, Honorable Mark Brantley, will seek leave to introduce and have read a first-time Civil Aviation Amendment Bill 2021. Moreover, the Honorable Attorney General and Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs, Vincent Byron Jr., will move the second reading of Magistrates Code of Procedure Amendment Bill 2021, Criminal Procedures Amendment Bill 2021, Jury Amendment Bill 2021. The National Assembly will be carried live on ZIZ Radio 96 FM and participating radio stations. It can also be viewed live on TV channel 98 in Nevis. It will also be streamed live at www.zizonline.com. World Obesity Day is annually observed on the 4th of March, and this year, the Ministry of Health is hosting an activity dubbed A Fun Run in the Sun.
The Health Promotion Unit, to commemorate the day, we decided to have something that would highlight the importance of physical activity in preventing and treating obesity. So what we decided to do was have a relay. It's going to be a fun relay, and it's called A Fun Run in the Sun. Now this ties into our local theme for World Obesity Day, which is passing the baton of good health. So we're going to have a short relay. The relay it's a relay with 5 legs, and it starts at the Charlestown Best Buy, the entrance to the Charlestown Best Buy in the road, and it will go until the Sim Daniel bust.
Senior health educator in the Health Promotion Unit, Chevanine Nisbet, went into further detail about the activity.
The first leg is from the Best Buy supermarket to the police station, the Charlestown police station, from the Charlestown police station to the library or the courthouse, from there to the Sim Daniel bust, and from the Sim Daniel bust to down the road. We're going to turn and go down the road between Sports Zone and Republic Bank, the road that persons usually drive up. We're going to run down that one, and to the end of that road we will pass the baton to the last person, and that person would go left onto the Samuel Hunkins Drive and back up to the Sim Daniel bust, and that is how the relay would end. It's promising to be fun. So far we have a total of 7 teams that will be taking part in the relay, and everybody is excited about it, and we would like persons to show your support. Of course, we are acknowledging the COVID-19 protocols, but we're asking persons, because it's an open space, you can come and show your support to the team that you would like to support.
The relay takes place on Thursday, March 4th at 2 p.m. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Freddie Liebert. Thank you for viewing.